I am Juliana,
Laura.
and today we'll be presenting on saltwater marshes because we're both interested in learning more about climate change actions currently being taken to combat climate change and specifically sea level rise. So, as San Francisco natives, we're both familiar with being in such close proximity to the ocean and shorelines. And though parts of the Bay Area are currently being protected by levees, they'll only hold up to a certain degree, which puts parts of counties like San Francisco and Hayward at risk of being flooded.
The general cause of sea level rise is due to a warmer planet from excess greenhouse gases. This in turn speeds up the melting process of glaciers at the poles of Earth, and as a result, seawater expands towards the land in which we live on with increasing temperature. As you can see to the graph on the right, statistics have shown that if we don't change anything about our current emissions, sea level is projected to rise in the form of higher tides by 0.3 meters in 2050 and at least 0.69 meters in 2100.
One of the major concerns of sea level rise is the effects it has on human civilization. As climate change and rising sea levels weren't necessarily a concern back in the days when roads were being built, many of the highways and roads used in the state of California will not be able to withstand the changes to come. Some roads that will be affected include smaller ones like Highway 37 and even major ones like Highway 101, which runs from the north to the south of California. As a result, daily commuters would be forced to take other roads, which creates huge inconveniences in transportation and traffic. There have also been suggested options in which additional structures will be built to raise the height of highways which are at risk. Except a main factor of concern with this is the cost of this large-scale project. In order to target every road that needs repairing, it would require many resources and human labor. Additionally, people would be expected to pay tolls in order to aid with maintenance. Aside from roads, cities and towns near the coast are also at risk of being flooded. As a last resort, people may be forced to move inland and to higher elevations to avoid higher sea levels. But there are also structures like the Hayward wastewater treatment facility and farmers with plots of land that make this move difficult.
These issues all bring about different unique solutions, and one uses salt marshes. Here's a picture of the Christie Field Marsh in San Francisco, which also serves as a rich habitat for a diverse ecosystem. Marshes are essentially coastal wetlands that can act as green sponges or carbon sinks by trapping dead vegetation in the bottom, and the acidity allows decomposition. This helps to create layers of stored carbon underground. And as you can see in this diagram, it starts with the plants in marshes accumulating residue of eroded material from rising waters. As the matter continues to build up in volume, the ground level also starts rising along. To supplement the fast pace of rising sea levels, fertilizer can be used to help increase the growth of vegetation, so that the amount of sediment being gathered also increases. In addition, marshes also serve the function of filtering toxins from groundwater and providing a buffer for houses in case of storms, since they are capable of storing excess water when flooding occurs. But it is also important to remember that if they are disturbed in any way from an increase in temperature or destruction, it can lead to a release of gases like carbon dioxide and methane. Ultimately, wetlands can only do so much in controlling the effects of climate change, which is why instead of building more seawalls, cities should be more focused on rebuilding existing ecosystems. It is also more important than ever that we focus on unity and collaboration, especially between people of different professions, to bring about unique perspectives to the table on certain topics. As of now, many cities are taking smaller steps to accomplish bigger and more ambitious projects, and hopefully one day we'll be able to reverse the damages we have done to our planet.
Thank you for listening, and here are our sources.
All right, thank you so much, Juliana and Laura. Does anybody have any questions for them?
I just wanted to make a comment. That was a really good presentation, very, succinct, and I thought it was, good points and stuff like that. So I appreciate that. I know it's a little scary to present in front of people, so I thought that was good.
I have a question. Did your research give some of the estimates of how much the proposed rebuilding of roads would cost versus an effort that focused more on the marshes?
The article I read didn't specify how much the marshes would be, but for roads, it would be in the billions.
Right. And so we're hopeful that the marshes would be quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.